In 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 13, the Apostle Paul, writing to Timothy, said, "Give attention to reading." Christians should be people who read, especially the Word of God. The Bible is the greatest book for the Christian, the greatest book for this world, and the child of God should often be in their Bible. Read your Bible, pray every day if you want to grow. But I want to give you today 5 easy to read Christian biographies that have been a great blessing and challenge to myself. In no particular order, my 5 top easy to read Christian biographies. The first one is Channel of Revival, the biography of the Reverend Duncan Campbell of the Faith Mission. This is a wonderful little book. I read it as a young Christian. It greatly impacted my life. Gives an account not only of the life of Duncan Campbell, but also a succinct summary of the Great Awakening in the Isle of Lewis and Harris, 1949 through to 1953. If you can get this little book, it was formerly a black cover with Duncan Campbell's face on it, just called Duncan Campbell, a biography. But Channel of Revival, one of the best books I have ever read. And then another book that follows in a similar vein, Hearken O Daughter, the biography of Mary Morrison, again formerly of the Faith Mission, who was converted under Duncan Campbell's ministry during the Lewis Awakening. This little book's very difficult to come by, but it's very short. It's only about maybe 80 pages or so. Easy to read, but a real challenge, a real blessing. And Mary Morrison went on to do a great work for God in her own right. So, Hearken O Daughter, the biography of Mary Morrison. Bigger book this time, Dr. Martyn Lloyd-Jones, The First 40 Years. This book, again, I read it as a relatively young Christian, a good number of years ago, and what a blessing it was. The first 40 years of the life and ministry of Dr. Martyn Lloyd-Jones. It records his upbringing, his conversion, his surrender, his sacrifice, a great lucrative vocation that he could have followed as being a doctor in Harley Street in London, but felt the call of God to be a preacher, went to a small church in Wales, preached, and God sent an awakening. And there's a lot of encouragement, a lot of Dr. Lloyd-Jones's theology in this book. Haven't read the second one just yet. It's on the shelf behind me here. You'll see the red just above my thumb. I'm going to read that very soon, hopefully. But Martyn Lloyd-Jones, The First 40 Years, to give you an introduction to the life and ministry of that man. Again, another big book this time, In Light of Eternity by Mac Tomlinson, and it's the biography, the life of Leonard Ravenhill. As a young Christian, I got all of the books that I could find of Leonard Ravenhill: Why Revival Tarries, Sodom Had No Bible, Revival God's Way, America's Too Young to Die, Meat for Men, Tried and Transfigured. And those books really, as a young Christian, were such a blessing, such a challenge. Again, easy to read in the sense that they're short, but a challenge to read because they really impact the heart and life. This book was published a number of years ago. Again, I think it's very difficult to come by. It might be quite expensive if you get a second-hand copy, but if you know someone has a copy of it, try to borrow it off them, or if you can get your own copy, or maybe it's available on PDF, I'm not sure. But In Light of Eternity, the biography of Leonard Ravenhill, who as a young man, along with some others, they walked the length and breadth of England, sleeping in church halls, people's homes, sometimes outside in the open air, under hedgerows and fields, under trees, tramping across England, preaching the word of God from town to town and village to village. And as a young man, God really blessed the ministry of Leonard Ravenhill. Just one to go, top 5 as we said. Again, a book I read as a young Christian, All for Jesus, The Life of W.P. Nicholson, by one of her own ministers, Dr. Stanley Barnes, who's now retired. And has written quite a number of good books, but this one is a real blessing. It's easy to read. It's a nice short book, short chapters, very well written, and just succinctly covers the ministry of the Reverend W.P. Nicholson and some of the great moves of the Spirit of God, right from his conversion through to his death, and from Northern Ireland to Australia to America, different places God's servant preached, all for Jesus, the life of W.P. Nicholson. So there you are, in 5 minutes, 5 easy to read biographies that every Christian ought to read. Thank you for joining us. Hopefully see you soon.